There's a story in every one of us. A real-life drama filled with the things which have happened to us. Our hopes, our failures, our twists of fate. So move the camera down. Pick one of us now. Any one of us. Let's find out. Let's get into a close-up. Albert Clayson, married, father of an 8-year-old daughter. What is the drama in his life? What is his story?
Did you ask your boss for the advance yet?
He said no.
What are we going to do, Al?
I'll find a way.
How?
I'll find a way.
Is there something you haven't told me, Al?
No. Nothing. I'll ask your brother Frank.
You know Frank won't help.
Well, I'll try. I'll try again. Where's Josie?
She's asleep. She wanted to stay up until you got home, but I...
All right. It's better if she sleeps. All right. I'm going out and try and get the money.
Where?
I don't know. I'll try.
Well, don't you want to eat first?
No.
Oh, you must have some dinner, darling.
Oh, leave me alone. I'm sorry, Shirley.
Well, they rob you at those repair places. $19.85 plus tax to fix that engine, and it still doesn't work.
Frank.
Well, what's on your mind?
I wanted to talk to you.
Sure thing, shoot.
It'll just take a minute.
Well, don't let this bother you.
It's about Josie. I wanted to borrow $150.
You know I'm strapped right now, Al. I just put 2 new machines in the shop, and everything's tied up.
It's not much that I need, and I could pay you back a couple of dollars every week.
Sure, I know. I'd lend it to you in a second if I had it.
Well, it's for Josie.
Oh, any other time, Al. I just can't make it right now. How's Josie anyhow?
Well, the doctor says she ought to get out of the city. That it might do her some good to visit with my cousin in Phoenix for a while. I just got to try everything. All I need is a railroad fare, just the price of a one-way ticket.
I told you I ain't got it right now. I'd lend it to you in a second if I had it.
No, you wouldn't, Frank.
Huh? Well, now, look.
I asked you twice before to lend me money. You had the same answer. Your money's always tied up.
Oh, now, what kind of an attitude is that?
Don't make excuses, Frank. If I ask you a month from now, you'd have another story about how your money's always tied up.
Okay, if that's the way you think.
That's the way it is, isn't it? You just don't want to lend me the money. That's right, isn't it?
That's some attitude. You sure got a fat chance borrowing money with that chip on your shoulder. I told you why I couldn't lend it to you, and that's the way it is.
Thanks. Thanks anyway, Frank.
I'm sorry, Mr. Clayson, but an additional loan is out of the question. You're in 2 months default on your present loan. You understand we try to be as cooperative as we can, but we'd like a little cooperation on your side, too. Now about your delinquent account.
I'm really sorry, Mr. Clayson, but the doctor has been treating your daughter without any fee as it is. I don't think it's really fair to ask him to lend you additional money, do you?
Yes, Clayson, I know you've been in our shipping department 9 years. You surprise me. You know our rules. No advances, no loans. Not for any reason.
I've got a good record. How could he turn me down? I've been working for him since before Shirley and I were married. Did I want to gamble with the money? What's he think? I wasn't telling the truth about Josie?
I'm sorry.
Hey, Bud, you dropped your wallet. Your wallet. Yeah. Thanks. Still some honest people left in the world, you know.
Miss Ralston, this is Richard King. I'm at the club. I seem to have misplaced my wallet, and well, I had a letter in it, an important letter. Will you look in the office, please? Thank you. Oh, George. Thank you.
Trouble, Dick?
Oh, my wallet. I seem to have misplaced it or lost it somewhere.
Well, if that's all that's worrying you.
No. It isn't the money. There was a letter.
Oh.
From Jane.
Jane?
Yes.
Your wife? You know where she is?
Well, that's just it. I don't know. I haven't heard from her in almost a year, and... Oh, yes, Miss Ralston? Find it? Not on my desk. Well, perhaps it's on the floor. All right. Keep on looking. But if you don't find it, look in my address book on the desk. Call all my personal friends and Mrs. King's friends, too. Find out if any of them know where she's staying. Thank you. Oh, I'll be here at the club or in my apartment. Goodbye. Funny, isn't it, George? I've been waiting and waiting, praying for this chance of a reconciliation with Jane.
But you say she did, right?
Yes, she did. She gave me an address in the East 50s. I think it was in the East 50s. Said she'd be there at 9 o'clock tonight. If I wanted to meet her, if I wanted to start a new life, I was to be there by 9 o'clock. If not, if I didn't show up, she'd understand that I'd rather leave things as they are.
And you lost the letter?
It was in my wallet.
But don't you remember the address?
Only that it was somewhere in the East 50s. Oh, I read the letter. I read it and passed over it. I was excited, I guess, hearing from her at last.
Well, with Jane's pride, if you don't show up, Dick, she'll...
I know. This is my last chance. She'll disappear again. That's why I've got to find that wallet.
Are you sure you didn't have your wallet with you?
Well, I changed my clothes this afternoon. Then I went to the office. And then I came here.
Yeah? What is it, Dick?
Coming out of the office building, I bumped into somebody.
A pickpocket?
Oh, maybe. I don't know. Of course, I might have left it in my other clothes. I'm going back to the apartment.
Want me to tag along, Dick?
Why, thanks, George. I wish you would.
Sure, glad to, old man.
Yes, sir.
A one-way ticket to Phoenix, Arizona, tomorrow evening?
Coach or Pullman?
Pullman.
Name, please?
Josie Clayson. Josephine Clayson. 7245 East 10th Street.
That's a lower. 10:30 tomorrow evening. Track 12. The New York Central to Chicago connects with the Southern Pacific, the Golden State. That'll be $117.94.
I see. I have the money right here in my wallet.
Dick, what time was it Jane told you could meet her?
9 o'clock.
Well, it's still a lot of time. It isn't quite 8 yet.
What if I just dropped it somewhere? If someone found it, what would they do with it?
Well, if the fellow was honest and couldn't get in touch with you, he'd probably put an ad in the paper.
An ad?
Yeah.
Well, we can check that.
Now, wait a minute. Plenty of things to check, and plenty of things that might have happened. Your office building might have dropped it around there. A cleaning woman or somebody might have found it.
That's right. I'll go back there and talk to them.
And even if a pickpocket got it, it might come here in the morning mail. Oh, but that'd be too late, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Well, you go ahead. I'll start phoning the papers. Where'll I meet you?
Oh, I don't know, George. The club, I guess.
What about the phone calls your secretary made? No lead at all?
Not yet. She's still trying. George, if you hear anything at all, leave word at the club, will you?
Sure, old boy. Go ahead. Now, stop worrying. Stop worrying. Switchboard, will you do me a favor, please, and get the Times? Yes, the Times. And I want the classified ad department. Hey, very kind, thanks.
And now, back to the second act of tonight's play.
Shirley, I've got to tell you something.
Have your dinner first.
I got the ticket for Josie.
You have? Oh. Pullman reservations. Where'd you get the money, Al?
From Frank?
Ethel just called to say she was sorry that Frank couldn't loan you the money.
I got it from the finance company.
Well, you owe them payments as it is, Al.
I got it. What difference where I got it? I got it.
Oh, all right, Al.
I didn't rob somebody for it.
I know that.
Why do you look at me like that? It's for Josie, isn't it?
Yes, Al.
Shirley, I found a wallet. I tried everything. I went to Frank's. I went to the finance company. I went to the doctor's. I couldn't get the money. That's all that's left. I used what I had to use.
Richard King, Interstate Industries.
He's rich. He doesn't need the money. You should see the big car he has.
A driver's license and a letter.
What is it?
Oh, Al.
Well, what?
And so, if you don't meet me at 9 o'clock Friday evening at 467 East 53rd, Apartment 9, I'll know that you're not interested in a reconciliation. I am leaving the city again. I want to give us this last chance to try to find the thing we once had. I'm sorry, darling. I'm sorry for everything. If you decide not to come, I'll understand. I love you, Jane.
Friday? That's tonight.
Maybe he needs this letter.
Why should he? He must have read it already.
I know, but if he's forgotten the address and he wants to make up with his wife and he...
Well, he
can't...
probably can figure a way to reach her if he wants to.
Oh, no, Al, this letter doesn't sound like that. It sounds like...
Why should I worry about him? I've got to think about Josie. He'll never miss the money. Maybe he's got the address written down someplace. Maybe he knows the address.
Yes, Al.
I'm not a thief. I never stole anything.
But maybe he'll give you a reward if you take it back to him. Maybe he'll let you keep the railroad ticket.
And what if he doesn't? Surely some people don't have to worry about money. Some people can put aside a little for a rainy day. Well, this is our rainy day, and we got nothing put aside. Not even the price of a railroad fare.
Oh, please, Al.
Sure, I took some of the money. I don't feel good about it. I don't want to do anything dishonest. I just want to take care of you and Josie. That's all I want. That's all I've ever wanted.
It isn't only the money, even if he doesn't need it. There may be other things he needs. Things that we've got that he may not have.
I guess I am luckier than him that way.
The letter says by 9 o'clock, Al.
Shirley, if I don't get in touch with him, how will it be with us?
Oh, it won't make any difference no matter what you do, Al.
Will it be the same, thinking that maybe I ruined somebody's life? Can I take from him what I got? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'll find another way.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to make sure that Mr. Richard King has the address where he can reach his wife. I'm going over to his house. You go out and phone him.
Yeah.
Well, if he doesn't answer, try that Regent Club. I'll go over to his place.
Regent Club?
Hello. Is Mr. Richard King there?
Not now, sorry. Who is this, please?
Well, this is Mrs. Clayson. I want to get in touch with him. Do you know where he is?
Sorry, ma'am, I don't. Too bad. You just missed him.
Thank you.
Excuse me. Yes?
Mr. King?
Yes. Yes. In front of the office building.
Yes.
My wallet.
Yes, I found it on the street after we bumped into each other.
Oh, thank heaven. Come in, come in. Is it there, the letter?
I don't know. I didn't look inside.
Yes, yes, here it is. I've almost been out of my mind.
There wasn't any money in it.
467 East 50.
When I found it, there wasn't any money in it.
It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is this letter. This is so important to me.
I'm sorry there wasn't any money in it.
It's all right. It's all right. I have to rush now. I have to keep an appointment. I'd like to buy you a drink or something, old man, but I can't right now.
Mr. King!
Yes?
I lied to you. You can't do it. I bought a railroad ticket. Here. You can get a refund on it.
Well, fine. Fine. I'd like to reward you, old man. I must hurry now.
I'd taken the money out of the wallet and told him there wasn't any in it. Then I couldn't do it. I gave it to him. The money and the ticket. He's going to turn it back.
We'll work it out.
Just like I said. He didn't care about the money. He didn't care whether there was $5,000 in the wallet or nothing. All he wanted was the letter.
I'll get it.
Does a Mr. Clayson live here?
Won't you come in?
Thank you.
Mr. King!
Mr. Clayson, I'm sorry.
Sorry?
I was in such a hurry, I neglected to thank you properly.
But how did you find out where I lived?
The Pullman reservation. There was a name and address on it. Lucky thing, too. I'd never have forgiven myself. I want you to have this, Mr. Clayson. The ticket and the money, too.
But
It's the least I can do, considering what you've done for me.
Thank you, Mr. King.
Oh, no. Thank you. Now, I must run along. I'm afraid I'm still in a hurry. You see, my wife is waiting for me in the car.
I'm so glad, Mr. King.
Well, thanks again.
Bye.
Thank you.
You haven't had your dinner.
Yes, and I think I really could eat now.
Won't take a minute.